apparently at that time the universe had been in darkness for a long time.
By doing this at sunrise, Buddhists aim at making today better than yesterday.
Every time the mind confirms the existence of the turning point over here,
that makes you healthy and happier. So be happy, makes others happy. So meditation is the technique that makes you happy.
Sawadee. Welcome to Meditation for All program. My name is Joy Vanichagun and I will be your host for today's program. Panikalas Thanisara will discuss the importance of having the correct understanding of key Buddhist concepts. He will provide an explanation of 4 periods of the world cycle, and he also discussed the changes in the universe which are linked to our state of mind.
Thing which I'd like to talk about today hopefully will make a little bit clearer the sorts of connections which we have between our own human makeup and the environment around us, and even the course of history in which we find ourselves too. And even if you are talking about things on a global level, whether it's the environment or even the quality of life which you experience in a particular place or a time, it's always connected with the quality of mind of the people living in society at that time. And normally in Buddhism, we don't pay much interest at all to the idea of how the world started, how the world should end, or even where we came from in the first place. The reason why we do this is not because we don't have answers to these sort of questions, but it's because the Buddha thought that the more immediate questions in our life which we ought to be wasting our time thinking about are things like, now that we're in this mess, what can we do about it to get ourselves out of it? There's even a metaphor in the Buddhist scriptures about a man who has been shot with a poisoned arrow. And normally if you are shot with an arrow, then your first instinct should be to get the arrow out of your body as quickly as possible before that poison starts to get to work in your blood and to kill you eventually. But some people who the Buddha compared to intellectuals in the world, instead of pulling out the arrow as quickly as they can, they waste a lot of time wanting to know, oh doctor, hang on a moment, I have to know who shot this arrow. I have to know what sort of poison has been used in this arrow. I have to know which direction this arrow came from. It's really important for me to know all of these things. In fact, the most important thing for the man should be to survive this injury from the arrow, not to get answers to all these questions. And by the same token in Buddhism, because we are great pragmatists, that we always try to find solutions to the problems we find ourselves in now. Whether we have an intellectual explanation about many mysterious cosmological things doesn't make a difference to the effort we can make to practice to improve our lot in life. But saying that, in Buddhism we do find that there are references made to something of our ancient history as well. So what did he tell us? Actually, he didn't tell us about the beginning at all. But he told us about a long time ago in history, long before there were human beings in our world. So maybe you think, like, if you think the furthest back you possibly can in human history, maybe you think of dinosaurs or something like that. Maybe a little bit further than that, maybe you can think of, trilobites swimming around in the sea or something like that. That's about as far as you can think back according to scientific prehistory. But what the Buddha was talking about was something even earlier than that. And it turns out that if we are to take dinosaurs seriously, then that is very recent history for our Earth. It's a sort of history which leaves behind a fossil record, but deep below that fossil record is even the aeons and aeons of history which went before. And the picture which we get from the scriptures in Buddhism is that in fact there may not have been a beginning at all. But there is a sort of cycle which goes on with our world, whereby the earth comes into being, goes through a period of prosperity, and then it breaks down again, and all life comes to an end on the earth, and then the cycle starts all over again. You may think that this sounds illogical, but if any of you have been reading up on cosmology recently, that means if you have read up on more recent theories than the theory of Big Bang, then you will know that cosmologists such as Stephen Hawking actually have proposed a lot of mathematical theories which actually are compatible with the Buddhist explanation of how things began. If we're talking about the time and the way things are arranged, then it goes something like this. Talking about cycles through which the world evolves, goes through a period of prosperity, golden age, then will decline, deteriorate, and there'll be a time when there's no life on earth at all. Then he talked about the sort of nature of beings or life on earth during each of these periods. During the times of prosperity, they'd be characterized by beings of a very high and subtle state of mind, who would have a long life, who would have a standard of living, and who would have an environment which was almost perfect. And they would have a high level of morality as well. As for the lower end of the spectrum, the times or the periods when life was very tough, the sort of beings alive at that time would have a very short lifespan, they would have a very low quality of mind, a low level of morality, the environment would be of a poor quality. When the Buddha actually started to describe about what happened during the cycle, he told a story about what happened during this part of the slope here. And apparently at that time, the universe had been in darkness for a long time. There weren't any forms of life in the universe to speak of, apart from certain beings with a very high quality of mind, known as apasara, or self-illuminated, you would say, gods. So not a creator god, but a whole lot of gods. And the reason that they had become gods in the first place was because during the time they had been human beings, they had managed to attain a high level of meditation. So when they passed away, that high state of meditation led them to a high state of mind and a high state of being. Their appearance would be something rather like this one here. Normally such beings don't have any sexual desires because they have transcended even what is known as male or female. And when these beings saw the earth, which had been on fire for many years after its previous cycle of destruction, so once it had been destroyed and had once again habitable. If you can imagine Earth which has been on fire for many years, maybe rather like volcanic rock or whatever, then it had quite a fragrance to it. Sometimes described as a fragrance similar to newly baked bread. And this aroma attracted these brightly self-illuminated beings who out of curiosity came down and actually tasted some of what is known as curds of earth. Floating food started to change some of them physically. The ones which ate more of the earth, who succumbed to their desire or curiosity for this physical food, found their complexion becoming darkened. Not only that, because they are eating physical food, they are actually weighed down by it. So they weren't able to just float around in the universe according to their whims anymore. The first thing that happened was that the ones which still had a brighter complexion discriminated against those which had the darker complexion. So this sort of discrimination, so from the mental impurity of curiosity or greed just now, we see that emerging to the mental impurity of discrimination now. And once they found themselves weighed down and unable to float around anymore, then they became earthbound. So according to this account, the first beings on earth were sort of stranded godlike beings, which became human because of their curiosity. So if you asked who created man, well, greed created man. It didn't need some sort of benevolent creator figure in the background saying, oh, now we're going to have a few people. But in fact, from the godlike beings, they became men just as if they were fallen angels. And the major factor is the greed in their own minds. This is the thing which has the power to create. As their state of mind became less subtle than before, then in fact the universe itself started to change in keeping with the lower state of mind of the beings inhabiting it. From a time where there was no sun or stars or moon, the sun, stars, moon started to appear in the universe. There started to be day and night. So instead of the only light in the universe coming from these beings themselves, it started to come from the various stars and planets. As these beings started to live on the earth for longer, then instead of being able to survive on these curds of earth, which you could say was a very nutritious and tasty supply of food, that became exhausted, and the nature of the environment started to change, so that instead of having these curds of earth to survive upon, the next sort of staple food which was available to them was that of a sort of mushroom-like plant. And as they ate more of these rougher sorts of diet, then this started to lead them to have some sort of digestive system inside them to handle and digest the food, because they were no longer living on subtle food anymore. Once a person has digestive organs, then something else which comes together with digestive organs is reproductive organs. And when that happened, it turned out that those beings who had in their past less tendency to be unfaithful to their spouse, developed male reproductive organs, whereas those who had more tendency to be unfaithful to their spouse developed female reproductive organs. In the olden days, there was no reproduction, and there was a transcending of gender attributes. But from this time in the human history onwards, once their state of mind had decreased to a certain level, there started to be a distinction between male gender and female gender. Most of these very high-minded beings were horrified by the differences between the genders. Now, some weren't. Some actually became quite obsessed with the gender features which were not the same as their own. And some of them even started to pair off. And those beings that were pairing off started to build themselves houses to live in, not because it rained too much, but because they needed somewhere to conceal themselves once they engaged in this shameful act of reproduction, which they didn't want to do in front of their fellow beings. So they started to meet settling down. Once beings settled down and became involved with a family way of life, then their state of mind became somewhat less subtle than before. And with that, the staple food in their environment started to change to be not just creepers anymore, but a sort of cereal or rice. But it was a cereal or rice much bigger than the rice grains which we have in the present day, where if you broke off a grain of rice from the plant, the very next day a new grain would have grown in its place without even a scar to indicate that the plant had been picked the day before. Those beings still had quite a long life compared to our own, but once they started to settle down, then the amount of food in the immediate area of their house started to become something more like their territory. And once people started to become possessive about the land on which they were living, and it was no longer just a free-for-all anymore, then again the quality of the staple food became less, so that it became like the rice in the present day. Now, if you broke off the grains of rice today, you might not be sure that next day it would have grown up again in its place. So there started to be a shortage of food. So people became quite territorial. Some were not only territorial, they became quite greedy as well. Greedy and lazy, so that instead of going out each day and picking enough rice to support themselves for that day, some picked a day's worth of rice and hoarded it in their house so that they could just lie around for longer at home and they didn't have to collect up this rice anymore. And when that happened, then the quality of life, the lifespan and so on, decreased further. And it became the case that a lot of people simply don't have any respect for one another anymore. A lot of people are very selfish, violent, and there seems to be a breakdown in order in a lot of societies. So there are many symptoms of this sort of thing happening. But I think, not to scare you too much, okay, the thought which I'd like to leave you with is that if you see this sort of thing happening in society, the only hope to slow things down or even to improve things in society is to start to encourage people to have more interest in a higher state of mind by practicing for yourself and by encouraging other people to practice as well.
We will continue to learn how Buddhists pay homage to the Lord Buddha and to provide you with a better understanding of the meaning of sharing alms food. This is the way that Buddhists lift up their spirits and their minds.
This culture developed a long time ago because it is believed that offering alms to the Lord Buddha creates very good karma. Many households do this every day. Some households do both, giving alms to the Lord Buddha first and then to monks. By doing this at sunrise, Buddhists aim at making today better than yesterday. But most houses share out the alms food afterwards to eat, as if it was blessed by the Lord Buddha himself. Some houses wrap the alms food with banana or lotus leaves and let them float down a river.
In our everyday life, there are always things that we find challenging to us and we find that it's difficult for us to deal with. During these meditation sessions, Prasom Sakpiyasiro will teach us how to focus the mind and to enter into a peaceful state.
Sawadee. It is very nice to meet all of you again. How are you today? We have come to the meditation for all up to now. People and the environment get connected together so tightly. Every time we think of the nature, we feel relaxed. It is our concern as well how to get together in good balance with the nature. Suppose we see a group of violent people getting together and then they create violence. That is creating a disturbing environment and atmosphere. On the other hand, if we meditators get together, sit peaceful and relaxed, and then we go to the center point, the turning point, the point of meditation together, then the environment, the nature will get back into good balance. It is about time again, ladies and gentlemen. We will start meditation in a few seconds. Sit back straight. Straighten up your spine so that the back wouldn't get pain later. Find the comfortable corner as before. Then gently close the eyes. We don't squeeze the eyelids. We just allow the eyelids close softly. And we take a good deep breath, bringing freshness into our body. And on the out breath, we remove all the tensions and worries. And then we start to relax every part of the body. Let go of everything, physical and mental barriers. Allow the entire body to relax and get softened. From the top of the head, we relax them all downward, like we get a stream of relaxation to soothe the body. From top down, down to cover the entire relaxed body. Spend a little more time to make sure the body is thoroughly relaxed. Then we confirm the turning point by taking another good deep breath again. At the far end of the in-breath, we have confirmed the existence of the turning point. This is the point of peacefulness. Every time the mind confirms the existence of the turning point over here, we gain peace inside. Enjoy the beginning of the first touch at this station of peace. We just allow the wandering mind to come and end their move, the move of the mind, to end the move right over here. Then the mind is learning to stay still and motionless. Feel the center. We don't force the mind to stop, to stay, to be still. But we feel that the mind has stopped moving. The mind ends the move and stays over here for quite a long time. Allow this tranquil moment to go on and on for a little while. Remember the shape of the mind we have learned together previously. The mind has a round shape. It is bright and clean and clear, and especially is fearful. Then we invite the image of the crystal ball to pop up right in the center of the body. The crystal ball is floating upon the station of peace in the middle of our stomach. Observe the appearance of the crystal ball using no force. With a gentle manner, the crystal ball is floating peacefully, independently over the turning point. The crystal ball is so thin. The skin is so thin, like bubble. So the crystal ball has turned to be a bubble. A bubble, bright and clear in the nature, floating motionlessly over here. The feeling of inner peace can radiate. The radiation means the expansion of the size of the bubble. So the first bubble expands in all directions, and the next one emerges and expands in all directions as well, in the same manner. So we enjoy having another bubble expand, another one following another. So we have expanding bubbles. This is how we radiate the inner peace to the outer world. Enjoy the manner of expanding bubbles for a little while. By this, we are gaining more and more tranquility that is so serene and beautiful in the inner feeling. We are gaining more peace by having the bubbles expanding. Then we imagine sitting in the nature like we are sitting on the water throne. Sitting on the water throne, absorbing the coolness of the water throne. So we feel cool all around. Enjoy the peace and the coolness of the water that wrap up our body. We are now encapsulated by the water, feeling the coolness and freshness of the water capsule. We absorb the freshness and the cool feeling from the water capsule. The capsule is in a sphere form. We call this a sphere capsule. Sitting in the center of the sphere capsule gives us a serene and tranquil, deep feeling. Every time we start sharing inner peace to the world, we are the generators of world peace. So world peace would come from inner peace, from people like us. As it is the time to end this meditation session today, we take a good deep breath to confirm the inner peace at the turning point, and then we shall slowly open up. Hope you enjoy meditation, gaining your own inner peace. Don't forget to share the peace you gained by radiating your bubbles outward and spread loving kindness to the world. We are the generators of world peace. Until we meet again, remember to meditate every day. Until we meet next time, have a good time. สวัสดี
Mr. Salesh Gase told us that he wanted to live the busy life in Mumbai for a while and to find his own inner peace by joining the Middle-Way Meditation Retreat program. And now he feels at home by practicing this new method of meditation.
Swadika. Welcome to Sunpa Himawan, the Midway Meditation Retreat Program in Leh Province. My name is Chantipa Livingston. I'll be your host today. The objective of today's sessions is to introduce our audience the Midway Meditation Program and some of the people who have participated at the meditation center in Leh. We have the opportunity during our program to interview and some of the people that have had enjoyed spending some time at the meditation center in northeastern Thailand. Today we have Mr. Suresh Grazi from India. He would like to share with you his experience during the meditation retreat. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background?
Okay, I'm Suresh E. Garsai from Mumbai, India, and I am one of the middle family person working in Government of India's office, and I think meditation I find it quite interesting, so that helps me to come here and participate in this course.
Yeah, you're from Mumbai, so that's the
Yeah.
busiest place.
Yeah, one of the busiest place and busiest place of the world, in fact, I can say, and people are more stressful and always busy in their life.
Busiest in their life.
Busiest in their life.
Okay, how did you find out about this meditation retreat here?
I find it quite interesting, and the objective of this program is to get the peace, inner peace. I really got the same through my busiest life in Mumbai. That really helps me a lot to gain that peaceness, inner peaceness.
Okay, and how did who have been somebody introduced this program to you? That was just get caught.
No, I come across from my friend in Mumbai, and from of the bhantes of our viharas. We called it an Buddha viharas. For the Buddha temples, you are speaking here in Thailand, we call it Buddha viharas. In a Buddha viharas, we have come across from one of the bhante to visit Thailand Dhammakaya, and through this I could come join this program.
And you just said because in Mumbai it's very busy place, and right, you want to at least try to get away from it to just find your peace. Is that the reason that you joined this program?
Yeah, generally like that only. And people in Mumbai always, because of their busy schedules throughout the year and all this, they always like to go for here and there for the hill station. Somebody will go for the picnic or enjoyment along with their family members. So I think I think to come for meditation and that to get the more peace in the life.
It is your first time to practice this kind of Dhammakaya method?
Yeah, I am in Dhammakaya first time in Thailand. Dhammakaya, I'm practicing here first time.
This is your first
First
time.
time.
And how do you feel after practicing this technique?
Yeah, wonderful. In fact, it's a good, quite a good experience. I could practice during my practice. I could visualize the technique of Lord Buddha's and our great masters who has taught us about the meditation, and to focus on your middle part of the body and visualize the bright light in front of you. I could get that, in fact.
That is your technique to use during the meditation here.
Yeah. This is one of the technique we are using it to see the bright light in front of your eyes, and this is basically depend on your I think mental stability. Mental stability means how good you are meditating. That is important for this program. If the person is his mind is moving around here and there, he can't visualize that one. So it is very important for the man to be with full concentration in this meditation program. So you need to have a good concentration during your meditation.
That what you did, just try to keep your concentration.
Concentration more important.
And maybe you can share with us if you have the inner peace experience.
When generally when you are looking at your own middle part of your body, all your thoughts, sorrows and feelings are been vanish automatically, and naturally you will be peaceful in doing that one, and you like to be peaceful in life and continuously one after other also. So that is the one of the good thing that help us in our day-to-day life to bring the peace, inner peaceness within you. Okay. And I think that inner peaceness will also help you in how you will behave in your day-to-day life, how good you are concentrating on your work. I think that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. And so, because this is your first time to practice this kind of meditation, and somehow like you have a good result for your first time practice.
This is the first time international experience of mine. I already taught meditation in India, in our Dhammagiri, Igatpuri. We have already practiced that one. We have the meditation center there. And the meditation in our Buddha Viharas, we are also practicing the meditation on the full moon days, Sundays and other days.
And this should be easy for you
and,
to continue.
This is easy. I find it quite easy to get in.
Easier than you have been practiced before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that helps you, because say the practice makes man perfect. So that previous practice of mine helping me to get into it so fastly and achieve the target. I mean, achieve the target means you will visualize the brightness in front of your eyes and all this.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you, because like this, you have experience in meditation. Have you been practice meditation every day?
Yeah, generally it is. I practicing this one in my morning and evening in my house before going to office and after coming from office, to get fresh, and before doing any other work, go to the meditation and then concentrate on your day-to-day job. I think that helped me a lot.
Does that help? Because you keep practicing that approach, you can reach your goal of your meditation easier.
Yes, naturally.
Okay, and well, how about you're having very good experience, right? What are your feelings after the good meditation?
I think the meditation is one of the technique to bring the peace and happiness among the people, and I feel each one of us should go for this one. And those who are, in fact, these techniques, it's I don't feel that you will be brings you any illness or all this. It will certainly bring the happiness, and happiness is one of the best medicine of the world that makes you healthy and happier. Mm-hmm. So be happy, makes other happy. So meditation is the technique that makes you happy and be happy too.
And what you said is meditation can create peace and happiness to the people in this world.
Yeah, naturally. Basically, not only to the Buddhist world, I will say to all over the world, in fact, that will really bring the happiness amongst the people. And I see we have a lot more people from America, Czechoslovakia, Australia, New Zealand and so on. I think people are just thinking about the peace in the world and not the fight or war amongst themselves. I think that is one of the key of this meditation.
I agree with you. And because you're talking about peace and happiness for the people in this world, but how about yourself? What do you think that meditation can help you in your daily life?
Yeah, naturally, I'm happy with myself first. And if you are happy of yourself, you will be naturally happy with others also. Mm-hmm. So you will also like to be happy with the others and with whatever the problem they are. Not only in your house, but in your working offices or any other, wherever you are going or doing some work, you will also be happy with them. because happiness and loveness will certainly the one of the management techniques that's make you to work more efficiently and effectively.
That's it.
So meditation is certainly helped me a lot in this.
In your daily life too, and
Yeah.
this is what is that you, and how would you apply what you learned into your daily routine?
But generally, I make the people happy first. I greet them. I say hello, hi, and be happy, be smiling
You're
face.
smiling to
Smiling
them,
to
and they'll
them.
smile to you back.
Naturally, they have. When you are smiling, others will also be
Feel relaxed.
relax themselves, because to whom I am working, to whom I am coming across, they say he is so happy person, so I have to be happy. So he can't be angry one with you or something like that. He will also like to be happy with you. So happiness will certainly bring back the happiness to you.
What has impressed you the most about this retreat?
I think I have come across with this Dhammakaya through the meditation and other, through my friend. And I'm very much keen in learning the art of loving, what I'm doing in India, what the other world is doing there with them also. And it is, I think I'm very happy and feel proud that I could experience this by coming here in Dhammakaya and meeting people here and getting such a good treat, in fact, from them.
Okay.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's such an inspiration to make you very happy to be aware of what is good out there, right? And inspire you was once you get here, once you start practicing this kind of meditation, what inspire you? Anything?
Yeah,
When you go back, you said you're gonna do this, you're gonna keep doing more of this and just share this knowledge to others. And
yeah, because meditation is certainly gave me the one of the inner peacefulness. Then the inner peacefulness is very important for the man to get in. And once you are peaceful inner peacefulness, that naturally brings the happiness to your outer part and to the world around you. And I think that meditation is one of the technique that brings or inspires you to go into that again and again, to get more and more happiness amongst yourself.
okay.
I think that is the best way.
Okay, and just listen to you. A lot of things is very knowledgeable. And what is your objective in life?
My objective in my life is this to, because I belongs to a middle, even the poor family. I wanted to be a very good man in my life, to achieve the more higher and higher positions
You're still working right now?
in my working place where I'm working right now. And not only that one, I like to bring my family to be a good educated one and go to the best of best what they wanted to be, in fact. So this is the only one way I think meditation is certainly brings me a more concentrative or more towards my objectives to achieve that target, in fact.
Okay, I wish you're achieving all those things that you would like to do.
Thank you, madam.
What principles that help you guide you through your life?
I think it is to follow the Lord Buddha's way of living a life. Be a peaceful, be a happy, make yourself happy, makes others happy. Be happy and makes others happy is one of the best techniques that inspires me to live in this world, in fact. That is best way of doing the work.
I think if you can make yourself happy and make other people happy, I think that this is going to be very peaceful world.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
This is peaceful all over, in fact.
And this is your coming and practicing meditation here as the first time. How you like the location?
Yeah, it is.
different than in
In fact, it is. It is quite good and very good natural views all over, and I think everyone whosoever are working or in staying in a busiest life, even not only in Mumbai, in Bangkok again I will see lot more roads have been traffic jams and so on. So if they really wanted to be spend their sometimes away from the Bangkok, I think they must come here to love the nature and love this place automatically.
Yeah, and how about you? If you have a chance to come back here again?
Yeah, naturally I will be. In fact, not only to me, I will like all my family members and the people around me who's coming across to come here and really take a chance to stay here and love the nature. In fact, the nature will love you automatically here.
Yeah, but this time I heard you have brought a few people with you in your group.
Right.
It's quite a big group. How many people you brought?
But we have around 8 people, including one monk and one lady monk, and 6 others are there. We were around at least 12 people were supposed to join this group, but they could not make it. And
hopefully next time they
so
can make
yeah, next time suppose surely I will be. In fact, more than I think one of our group of Indian people will certainly have the one meditation program. In fact, I'm thinking to bring that much people here.
Get to learn meditation, this kind of meditation.
Meditation,
you mean.
yeah.
And look at your friends will be happy like you. They're happy with what they have learned here so far.
Yeah, but most of them, they are quite happy with this program because they really find it quite interesting. Not only the art of meditation and the program which is going on here, but the location, the foods, the living standard is quite higher comparatively to this one.
And so get to know other people too.
Yeah, and the peaceness they find it here. They are love to it, the natural peace. I think they are very much interested again and again to come back and
yeah, you recommend this program to others to try too, to have a good experience like you.
Yes, it's very nice in fact.
Yeah, but if there anything else you would like to share to the DMC audience all around the world?
Yeah, I think to all around the world, in fact, I will say to all the audience who are watching this, I think say you please join the meditation the way of Lord Buddha's life, the Lord Buddha's who has taught us the how to love, how to be happy and makes others happy. I think that is one of the good technique to bring back the world, the peace and happiness among themselves. I think I surely feel and want all of them to follow the way of Buddha's teaching. I think surely Buddha will certainly help us a lot in our day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just too bad we ran out of time, but talk to you was very enjoyable. And anyway, thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
For sharing experience with us, and hope to see you again at this.
Right, madam. I will certainly like to come again and again and join this program and to your audience too. Thank you very much.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Inner peace will happen when you be able to let go your thoughts and put your mind at the center of your body. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody now is looking for their inner peace. And how about you? I hope you have enjoyed our program today. Your comments and questions are most welcome and can be sent to our email address at meditationforall@gmail.com. Goodbye for now, and use your meditation to focus your thoughts, to relax, and to gain inner peace. สวัสดีค่ะ